Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Keith wins the prize. Welcome in, Keith. You are the first one here, and Jess is right on your heels. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kindness Rising Live. I'm so glad you're here. Keep coming back. Yesterday, we began season 2, year 2, whatever you want to call it, with a simple invitation just to show up real, not polished, not perfect, not pretending to have every single answer. Just real. Yep, it sounds freeing, doesn't it? And beautiful. But when we run into the obvious question, is showing up real is so powerful, why don't we do it more often? Why do we hold back? Why do we edit ourselves? Why do we walk into certain rooms and instantly become slightly safer, smaller, more acceptable version of ourselves? Today's lesson we're calling Why We Wear Armor. And here's the thing I want us to hold gently this morning. Armor is not always evidence that something is wrong with us. Sometimes our armor is evidence that something happened to us. So remember, today's not about shame. It's not about calling ourselves fake. It's not about looking back at versions of ourselves who hid, performed, or joked. Maybe there was nothing wrong with you. Maybe you were protecting something precious. Maybe that armor worked for a while. But the question today is this: what happens when the thing that once protected us starts preventing us from being fully seen? That's where we're headed this morning. Welcome to Kindness Rising. Welcome to Without a Net. Absolutely. All right. And welcome to everyone out there. Sully, Kathy, Jess, Keith, and the rest. Come on in. Join us here on Kindness Rising, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here. Here, Kindness Rising. Mornings in the Lab Authority Network. We are it. It's where it's happening every single day. People are building their authority, going live, showing us what they're made of and their expertise. And I do the same with people like my mother, who's showing up. Roseanne, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am glad you're here. The rest of the world, get involved out there. Say hello to the Kindness crew. Join us every morning for a little bit more high fives for humanity and a little less rage bait to get your day started. All right, let's bring the tunes down. We got excited for a second there. It's all right. Yep, today we continue our dialogue about authenticity, about showing up real. Yesterday, that's what we talked about, and today we're asking, why can that feel just so hard? Most of us didn't start our life with armor. We started curious, open, and expressive. We sang songs before we knew all the words, and we asked questions before we were worried whether they sounded smart or not. We told stories before we knew how they would land, and then life started. Life started teaching us, sometimes gently, sometimes not. One wrong answer, one laugh from the back of the room, one moment of embarrassment, one time we trusted someone with the truth and they didn't handle it well. Maybe a meeting where we spoke up and watched the temperature in the room change, or a boss who made it clear that mistakes were not welcome and were not information. They were evident. One relationship where honesty became a liability, and little by little we learned. Not because we're weak, but because we were paying attention. We learned what got rewarded and what got punished. Which parts of ourselves were welcome and which parts was probably just wait in the parking lot. We built armor. And some of us built armor out of achievement. If I succeed enough, nobody will question me. Some of us built armor out of humor. If I make them laugh, maybe they won't see that I'm really hurting. Some of us built armor out of competence. If I always know the answer, no one will notice that I'm really scared. And some of us built it out of silence. If I say less, there's less they can use against me. Absolutely. And then the killer. Fine. Fine at work. Fine at home. Fine on the live stream. Fine in the comments. Fine. And sometimes that armor gets us through, but there's a cost. Absolutely. It keeps out the criticism, but it also keeps out the connection. It helps us survive when we feel unsafe. But if we keep wearing it everywhere, eventually we start treating every room like it's a battlefield. So today, I don't want us to hate the armor. I want us to understand it, maybe even thank it, and then ask the braver question. Is it still protecting me, or is it keeping me from showing up real? That's today's Kindness Spark. Thanks for joining. Jess. Ends in hiding with walls. All right, Jess. Well, we'll talk it through. I love that you don't hide through hide behind walls. Here, you seem to be bringing your true self. I hope so. You're always welcome as you are. That's what we do here at Kindness Rising. Absolutely. All right. We also do Who in the World because we like to have a little bit of fun. And today, we're gonna rock our first clue right now. Right now, our Who in the World, 3 clues throughout today's episode to guess a person who might be celebrating something today or have something relevant to say about our topic. Here is our first clue. He was born Richard Starkey, but the world came to know him by a much shorter name. That's one of those ones, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Start working the thoughts. Famous person named Richard Starkey, and we will do our kindness spotlight and then keep yakking. Another clue is coming up in just a minute. But first, our kindness spotlight. Shining a light on a good organization doing good work for good people. And today is no different, and I happen to know this one very well from my career in hospitals and health systems. I'm talking about an organization that many of us in the hospitals and health systems thought was a giant pain in our ass. True story. But also very, very important because they make sure that we stay on track. Third-party evaluation. I'm talking about the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations. Maybe. Oh, I almost gave away the last clue. What's happening? What is happening all over my screen? All right. I'm talking about the Joint Commission's Speak Up program. Of course, it connects to why we wear armor. Joint Commission is the major organization in American healthcare focused on quality and patient safety. Hospitals, healthcare organizations look to the Joint Commission for standards and accreditation and guidance. But what I actually love about the Speak Up program is that it brings safety down to a very human level. It reminds patients and families that they are allowed to ask questions, allowed to raise concerns, allowed to say, I don't understand or something doesn't feel right. And that matters because healthcare can be intimidating, of course. Titles, white coats, machines, medical language, stress and fear. And when people are scared, overwhelmed, or unsure, they may just put on some armor. They may nod even when they're confused, and they may avoid asking that question. Absolutely. But the Joint Commission encourages patients and advocates to take an active role in their care by offering easy-to-use education materials, infographics, and videos to help people ask good questions. Absolutely, that is the Joint Commission reminding us that one of the kindest things as a system is to give people permission to use their voice. Whew. I got through that one. Can't help but to say that as I'm delivering that content, I'm also thinking about all the times that I got the call, Joint Commission is here. We had a whole protocol process. Boom, they show up at the door, certain things happen. System, yeah. oversight, but they actually do really, really good work. And actually, it's something you want to look for in your hospital. I'm not sure that there's many hospitals left that aren't Joint Commission accredited. The real reason why is that Medicare and Medicaid require it for payment, or it becomes anyway, once you have Joint Commission accreditation, you can get Medicare and Medicaid payment, and they can take it away from you if you lose that accreditation. That's the biggest reason. Okay, a little bit of hospital health system knowledge for you. Cheers. All right. Yes, Jess. I love that. Oh, God, I keep forgetting to put the comments on the stage, too, for y'all. I think everybody can see, though. I think we're all in the same feed, but in case we're in horizontal and vertical, now you can see people's comments. The internet has given Jess a place to start spreading her wings. Me too. Remember my question? Remember my story from last February? I was afraid to post. Ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. It's actually not ridiculous. We all start from that place of fear and of uncertainty. I'm sorry. I look back and think I was ridiculous because I was ready and I have lots to offer, and I know you do too, Jess. So I think, yeah, the wind beneath my wings. All right, Mom, did you see that in Jess's comment? It's one of our family songs, of course. Of course, it is a big one. All right, but let's change around a little bit. Wait, that happened. Let's do Wait, that happened. Wait, that happened today. Yes, every day we talk a little bit about something that happened on this very same day in history. And we're going way back, way back to the year 1456. July 7th, 1456. What? Today, Joan of Arc was officially cleared of the charges that had led to her with my pink pen, had led to her execution 25 years earlier. Obvious reason why this fits today. Joan of Arc wore armor. A teenage girl who stepped into battle in a world that had very clear ideas about who was allowed to be the leader and who was allowed to fight. But that's not what this is about. It's not about the metal armor. It's about the deeper story. It's about what happens when a person is misread by the world around them, condemned in 1431 and executed at just 19 years old. And then 25 years later, they had a retrial. Didn't do her a lot of good. The original verdict, though, was overturned, and the court declared that the earlier trial was null and void. History looked back and said, we got this wrong. Sometimes some people are only understood after the room has already judged them. That's what should make us pause, and that's today's lesson in why we wear armor. Sometimes we've learned that being fully seen doesn't mean being fairly or fully understood. And sometimes people armor up because they've been misread, misjudged, dismissed, labeled, or reduced. They brought something true into the room, and the room didn't have the capacity to hold it. So the next time they came in guarded, right? Because they were too curious, too sensitive, too honest, too weird, too emotional, all those things. Just remember this, though. Joan's story gives us this lesson. The first judgment isn't always the final truth. The way one room saw you is not the complete story of who you are. The worst interpretation of you is not the most accurate one. Absolutely. We have to build rooms where people can be seen more fully. That's what we're doing here on Kindness Rising. That's what we do on Mornings in the Lab. Joan of Arc's story reminds us that armor may protect the person, but a safer culture in our organizations, in our institutions, that's what can protect the truth, and that is the work. All right. Good times with Wait, That Happened today. We got to get you a second clue. Has anybody guessed? I cannot either. I cannot see those comments. Oh, I don't know why. I didn't change it. Let's see. In the, I don't know if there's a setting. I'm going to have to figure out if there's a setting. Sorry, guys. I can't really see an obvious fix to that, but thanks for the feedback. I will share them out loud. I can also do something like this. Let's see. Does that look better when we want to highlight a comment? That's Jess. The wind beneath her wings. All right. Clue 2. Holy moly, time is flying, and we're late on clue 2. Everybody's chomping at the bit. What? Our first clue, if you remember, Richard Starkey. Who the heck is Richard Starkey? Never heard of that person. This dude, he joined a band that already had momentum and somehow became its heartbeat. Richard Starkey joined a band, changed his name, and became the heartbeat of the band. All right. Got to keep moving along here a little bit quicker, Maddie, a little quicker. All right. That's okay, though, because we're here together, and that's what matters. But I do want to get to this content, this information. Stuff I've been working on, we talked about yesterday, continuing our ideas behind organizational, psychological, cultural safety, and we're getting into our little bit of research corner for this lesson. Research tells us what's true without a net, helps us put it to work. Yesterday, we introduced Amy Edmondson and psychological safety, and today we're moving on to a little organization called Google. Yep. It's making my nose itch. I don't know. What does that mean? Somebody from Google maybe is watching. I don't know. Today we moved to Google. In 2012, Google launched something called Project Aristotle. The goal of the project was to figure out what makes some teams more effective than others. And at first they looked at the obvious things. It was about putting the smartest people together, seniority, experience. Maybe it's personality types, a mix of introverts and extroverts. The best manager? Nope. The big discovery was this. Who was on the team mattered way less than how the team worked together. And the number one factor they found? Yep, you guessed it. Psychological safety, the same thing Amy Edmondson talked about in healthcare organizations. In simple terms, do people feel safe taking the risks around each other? Can I ask a question? Can I admit I'm confused? Can I make a mistake? Can I challenge the idea without becoming the problem? And can I show up as a real person instead of some polished role? That's the difference. Because when psychological safety is low, people protect themselves. They armor up. They manage their impression, not the reality. They hide uncertainty and they avoid hard questions. They're going to save the real opinions for the hallway after the meeting or the parking lot where psychological safety is high. So when you build it in your organization, something different happens. People contribute sooner. They learn faster. They correct their mistakes earlier, and they challenge ideas before they become really, really expensive, big problems. They trust the room enough to bring more of themselves into it, and that is the bridge to today's real lesson. The research tells us what's true without a net, helps us put it to work, and that's what we'll do today. There's something going on with my nose. Something's really got me. Whee! That's what happens when you go live. You can still talk about all you want. Mom, look on the screen. You should see everybody's. That means you and Kathy are on the same format and everybody else is on the other. Remember we talked about vertical and horizontal? Oh my God. Real problem here right now. Living it live with you. All right. Let's get to the real without a net lesson, though. Remember our anchor lyric from Robert Hunter, Help on the Way. I was blind all the time. I was learning to see. The line doesn't say I was wrong all the time. It doesn't say I was broken all the time. It just says I was blind and I was learning. That's compassion in a lyric. It leaves room for growth. It leaves room for possibility. That we're all walking around with parts of ourselves we have not fully recognized. For me, it was the Sesame Street recorder, Ernie microphone, that little kid who just started creating. The lesson that was that the authentic self was still in there. Yep. Because when I heard the cassette and I heard my voice, I heard a version of myself before the calculations began, before the careful professional voice, before walking into rooms and wondering which version of me would be safest around here. I want to make sure you understand that I don't think professionalism is bad. It's respect, it's discipline, it's care. Vital, vital. But it can also be armor. It can be a costume we wear so long that we forget there's a person under it. Yep, I know that armor for sure. And maybe you do too. Yep. Sorry, I'm scrolling fast through my screen because I already said a lot of this stuff and I'm trying to move things along here. But that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about why psychological safety matters. If we want people to take off their armor, we cannot just tell them to be brave. It's not enough. Speak up, be authentic, bring your work to yourself, bring your whole self to work, excuse me. Those are the ideas. But if the room punishes honesties, those are just slogans. So we have to live it. Yep. We have to see it. The goal is not to rip the armor off all at once. The goal is to start seeing it. All right. That's it. That's the without a net for today. I call that my customer service face. Yes, we all have a customer service face, Jess. Don't we? Hi. I'd like to rip your face off, but I'm smiling at you. You know what? We catch more flies with honey. Absolutely. It's recognizing it in the moment. I'm not always the best at it myself either. All right. Last clue. Come on, Maddie. Get a clue. Here's our clue. Anybody got a guess yet? I don't hear any guesses. Maybe I was a little too subtle. Richard Starkey, but the world came to know him by a shorter name. This joined a band that certainly already had momentum, but somehow became its heartbeat. All right. Our last clue should be the one that gives it away, I think. Every year he rings out his birthday message. Peace and love. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Do you hear it? Do you know him? He rings out his birthday message. A guy who was the heartbeat of a band. All right. I'm being a little pugnacious. Is that a word? Is that the right word? I don't know. I'm just being... Oh, Jess got it. All right. Good job, Jess. There he is. All right. But we got to get to the compass first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh, Lord. Yep. Today, and every day here on Kindness Rising Morning Lab Network, we bring you ideas, things that can move you from thought to action. That's it. We like to yakety yak. A lot of advice here. Put it to work, and you're going to have a kinder, gentler, better life. Today's practice is noticing the armor. Yep, our compass is notice the armor. Don't judge it. Don't hate it. Don't rip it off all at once. Just notice it. Here are 3 ways to rise with kindness today. Ask yourself, where am I performing safety instead of actually feeling safe? That question can reveal the rooms where you're spending more energy protecting yourself than contributing. What armor once protected me but may now be limiting me? Not every survival strategy is meant to become a lifelong strategy. Can you shed some of it? How can I make one room safer for someone else to lower their guard? When we stop punishing honesty, people stop needing quite so much armor. That's today's compass. Make one room safer. Ask yourself, what armor once protected me, and where am I performing safety instead of actually feeling safe? I think those are 3 pretty thought-provoking questions for us today. That's it. Notice your armor. Okay. Jess jumped in with Ringo. Oh my gosh, I was going to make Jess, you're great. That's hysterical. Loved him as the train conductor on Shining Time Station. Well, absolutely. I was going to make the Thomas the Tank Engine a clue, and I thought people wouldn't have any clue that he was on Thomas the Tank Engine, but apparently you jumped in there. Mike, good morning, Sully. Questions are so important for introspection and development. Absolutely. That's all that matters. Just ask a question instead of like making a statement or declaring something or being set in your ways. Ask a question. Ask a question. I think Ringo probably asked some questions along the way. Richard Starkey, there's a trivia for you. RS, Richard Starkey, Ringo Starr. Makes sense to me. Yep. He joined the Beatles after they were already moving along. Pete Best, the former drummer, he entered one of the most intense cultural storms in musical history. Yet his role was never about being the flashiest person in the room. Definitely not. Check him out. But he kept the beat. He brought the humor and the steadiness. He brought a kind warmth that helped hold the room together. And that, of course, connects to today's lesson because sometimes armor does not look like toughness. Sometimes it looks like being easygoing. It looks like always being the good sport. It looks like keeping the beat, the backbeat. It's the king of the backbeat, Ringo Starr. While the louder personalities get the most attention. Absolutely. He showed us, as most drummers do, that steadiness matters. Absolutely. And I love that. His peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. It's not a bad compass, especially for a day where we're talking about taking the armor off, because sometimes the person keeping the beat is helping everyone else feel safe enough to play. Thanks, Ringo. Pretty cool gent. All right. All right, that's it for today. I hope this was helpful and interesting and enlightening, community building, whatever, inspiring maybe? I don't know. Maybe inspiring. I aspire to inspire? I guess I do, but that's whatever. I just want us to get together and hang out and get the day started with a little bit of hope, humanity, and heart here on Kindness Rising, where we shed our armor. I'll tell you, there's two guys over at Mornings in the Lab that don't wear armor. Yeah, absolutely leading the way in sometimes TMI honesty. But we love them. We love Keith and John over at Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Today is Tuesday. We've got Sarah Barnes Humphrey starting up or getting going today. We've got Cheryl Whitaker tomorrow. Don't forget that. And we've got new show on the Roofing Authority Network come Thursday. I forgot the exact details. I'll need to bring it to you. But no armor, no filter. That's true. That's true, Sully. No armor, no filter on the Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends every single day, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. But their point is this, to get you up with a little bit of energy, to not hit the snooze button. You never know what the topic, what the guest, what the heck is going to happen over there. And you don't know about What the Truck either. We're going to do a What the Truck on Friday at 10 a.m. Friday at 10 a.m., What the Truck with Paul Riedner and Adam House. And they're going to have a guest who we've seen on Mornings in the Lab, but he's coming back, a guy named Nick Umble. Military vet and strongman. Good guy, Nick Umble, coming up Friday, 10 a.m. on the Mornings in the Lab Network. All right, that's it for today. It's been a blast. As always, I appreciate every single one of you who comes out every single day. And just remember to come back to this question we started with. Why do we wear the armor? Somewhere along the way, the armor helped. It helped us survive in rooms that did not feel safe. So today, just remember, sometimes that armor helps us keep from being fully seen. But it's not about shame. It's about awareness. It's about learning to see. Absolutely, absolutely. Remember, one mistake is not who you are. You're more than your role. You're more than your performance, and you're more than the polished answer. And definitely more than the mask that you wear. The real you is still in there, still worthy, still becoming, still learning to see. Thank you for spending part of your morning here with me. Now get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, and come on back 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, where we'll have more Kindness Rising live, more without a net, because we are just getting started. Stay uncommon, stay kind.